And tonight, Nashville Mayor John Cooper is warning the federal government is not coming to the city's rescue in dealing with the financial fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic.
In an exclusive interview with News Channel 5 Investigates, the mayor cautioned that taxpayers could end up paying the price with a property tax increase of more than 20%.
Phil, this may shock a lot of taxpayers.
Indeed it will. I think a lot of us thought the federal government would come to the rescue with this giant stimulus program. That was one of the questions we had for the mayor. Let's just start with some straight talk. How bad is the budget situation that you're facing right now?
Well, it's the worst in Metro's history. There's no question about that.
Nashville Mayor John Cooper says the ongoing COVID-19 crisis and the virtual shutdown of much of the city's economic life has been devastating. And Cooper had some bad news about the federal stimulus program.
The federal relief program is fundamentally not going to help Nashville with its budget shortfall.
That's because restrictions placed on the program prohibit it from being used to pay for anything that a city government had previously budgeted, such as police, fire, and schools.
So cities have to deal with that revenue loss created by COVID on their own.
So when it comes to our budget shortfalls, there is not going to be a cavalry riding into the scene to rescue us.
That's exactly right. In some areas, such as transportation and housing, there may be a little bit of cavalry assistance. But for the big numbers, there is no federal cavalry here. We are on our own.
Take a look at these numbers. Metro had budgeted for almost $479 million this year in local sales taxes. That's now expected to come in at $383 million, a shortfall of $95 million. Other taxes, licenses, and permits budgeted for $192 million, now expected just under $135, a shortfall of $57 million. The total expected shortfall now projected to be just under $250 million. That money will have to come from cash reserves, which the mayor says will need to be replaced in the next fiscal year.
In the end, it's a sad, tough thing to communicate, but I've tried to do it directly and straightforwardly. There is no choice but to have a significant increase in property taxes.
How much of an increase?
Well, that is what we're working every day. Measured in a percent, it's going to be on the order of more than 20%, to be sure.
The mayor says reopening Nashville will help, but what the city and other cities really need is more help from the federal government to allow stimulus money to be used for basic government services.
The direct grant of $122 million to Nashville, we would be able to utilize to support things like our police department, and that would make funding a ton easier. So we're all lobbying for that. If there are hello, we join a lot of cities in feeling the same way.
Now, Cooper says he and his team spend every day looking for additional savings or new revenue so that they will not have to slash essential government services. He says if the Trump administration changes the way the stimulus is spent, or if Congress comes up with a new plan, that could certainly ease the burden on Nashville taxpayers.